Amanda Powell is here in video. So she and I have been working on this for a few months. We've been having a lot of fun, except for today, when I had to cut everything that we had, but it's just wonderful. She sends a message of greeting to everybody, and she so wish you were here with us. Here's what we're going to be doing. I was expecting that to be on the big screen, but because it's not, we have another screen here, and I'm trying to move as far out of the way as I can. But when we sing and things like that, I am going to count on your ability to adapt, so that if you want to stand up, get closer, do something that helps you. But this is what we want to do. We're gonna have a first part that is about improvisation. Amanda will be leading that by video. I'll be facilitating in the middle of that a bit. Then Amanda and I decided to do an approach where we would share one song that we wrote responding to a particular need, tell the story of that, and then ask you to do the same. Imperfectly, quickly, and in a way that will frustrate some, because it's like you want to do the whole thing. What we're gonna get is just like seeding trampolines for the future, right? So then we're gonna do another session from writing from your need with another exercise where you'll be asked to write something too. And then I don't think we're gonna have time to do the writing from an idea, a concept or theme, but we'll give the example. And we're not gonna have time for sure to writing from an existing text, but we're gonna offer an example of that. So that's the plan. Let's start. Let there be sound. Okay, I'm going to skip because I think it will take all the time with that. Katie, could you go to the next section, and then could you keep working to get that kind of like arranged somehow? Katie? Yes, please. I appreciate that. All right. So, writing from a liturgical need. The story is this. Easter season this year needed something to close the services. And at Church of the Village, we use the same song. We use the ordinaries a lot. So we use like the same song to close the service throughout the whole season, whatever the season we decide is. And I knew the energy that I wanted to have. It was an energy that involved like defiance, like resurrection as defiance. I knew it deep within me. And the first text that kind of came into my mind is a song that we've done a lot. There's actually two settings of it. One that I wrote, the one we're gonna sing now, Nehemiah Lockward wrote, and it's to the words of Desmond Tutu, "Goodness is stronger than evil." So I thought, okay, maybe that will work, but it doesn't. It really didn't work. First, because we already know it too well. And when you know something too well, the defiance is gone. Like you control the song doesn't have an in with you. And then secondly, because it's too sweet. Goodness is one, dun, dun. It's very Pollyannish, and it had its moment. And we will use it again. It's a good song, I'm not putting it down. But it just didn't work. And also, our church has issues with the word darkness, so we have to put shadow, there was many things, and I'm like, oh my God, there is a service happening in 2 or 3 days, I forget. I was walking with Katie on the Botanical Gardens of the Bronx, and that song is not gonna work. So Amanda is the one who taught me, it's like when you get frustrated and you search hymnary.org and you search your computer, I have a group of friends, including that I text like, I need a song about this. And when nothing works, the Spirit is saying, write something. That's Amanda's rule, and I have followed her. So I want us to sing first the song that we did not use, and then we'll go to the one that was created. I don't know how many you see there. The screen is too bad. Goodness dark and the shadows, life is stronger. One more time, goodness is stronger than evil. So you have to imagine the church of the village stands for the closing song. The church of the village stands for the closing song. And it's like everybody, just finds their spot in the circle. And imagine you singing this there. Goodness is stronger than evil. Love is stronger than hate. Life is stronger than the shadows. Life is stronger than death. Now goodness, and we repeated a few times, but it just wasn't right for this year. So I'm with Katie, we've been standing for just a minute, and I'm like, okay, sometimes the approach is to go from the feeling that you have. So I knew that the text was gonna help me, but I didn't go to it right away. I was like, what is that I wanna see, feel in this moment? Desperately, I wanna see my congregation feeling, and it was defiance, and it was like togetherness, and it was just like, that. So I started and gave myself a beat inside my head. And the word goodness did not work. So because it felt like goodness, it just didn't work. So for that moment, by the way, it's a great word, but not just for what I was looking. So I went with something else. Could we have that on the screen now? And I think it needs to be shared on the Zoom, because I'm on the Zoom here and I don't see it. Yeah, no problem, so that those who are in the Zoom can also share the experience with us. Yeah, there we go. So the word love came to me. And it went like, I was gonna play you the recording of my first version of this, which is like not pretty, but we don't have a lot of time. But this is where we land. Like, give yourself a beat, and sing. Love is stronger. I say love is so much stronger. Love is stronger. Love is stronger than. Give it some clap. Grace is stronger. I say grace is so much stronger. Grace is stronger. Grace than fear, Now life is stronger. I say that life is so much stronger. Life is stronger. Life is stronger than death. Give it a little coda. Life is stronger than death. Take it to the end. Life is stronger than death. And after we did it a couple of times, somebody came up with a little discount to it. So let's sing it with that. 1, 2, ready and go. Love, God's love is stronger. And go. Love is so much stronger. Love is stronger. Love so much stronger than hate. Grace is stronger. Grace is so much stronger. God's grace is stronger. So much stronger than hate. And so on and so forth. Grab a seat, please. So you're going to be asked now to write something from a liturgical need. So the idea is find something in your local congregation, or whatever setting that you're in ministry, that you know, like that is not working well. You know, like that is good, but it could be a little bit better. And now, it may be 1,000 things. It may be a sanctus. Like recently, we have a series on 12-step spirituality. And I have like maybe 20 sanctus that I have used, settings of communion, and none of them worked. So Amanda's rule is, if you cannot find something, write it. So I wrote it. So you may want to write a sanctus. You may want to write something as simple as a beginning line. Just make sure that it's short, so that there's kind of possibilities, you know, for later. Just make sure that it's very imperfect, so that you don't try to like make it amazing. Now, if you are stuck on the screen, I'm gonna ask Katie to put, as she did already, a few ideas. So, so Lord, in your mercy, hear our prayer. It's a very common line. So I went to ChatGPT and said, now say it in the voice of a progressive church. Of a very spiritually deep church. And ChatGPT said, Spirit of love, guide our path. So I put that in there. Now you can create another one. That's just if you're stuck in your mind and you don't know what to do. If you're in this workshop, just do something. So take a moment now, 2 or 3 minutes, and then we're gonna ask maybe 3 or 4 of you to share what you came up. Okay? Work. Don't judge what comes, just go with it. If it's just a 1 word, that's perfectly fine. If it's just 2 notes, that's perfectly fine. This is kind of a starting point. All right. Who would start? Who would be first to share your process with us? What came to someone? I'd like to hear like the story of how it came first, and then hear what came up for you. Don't be shy. Yes.
I serve in a church that has an active garden ministry. So in the spring, we try to do some sort of a blessing of the garden. And my thought this year is that it would be really good to have some songs that could be sung outside, so that we can go outside and bless the garden. So I was trying to think what words would fit that, and the word that came to mind was grow. So this is totally not fleshed out completely, but I was trying to think grow in. So something like grow in grace, grow in love, grow to embrace. I need some words that also reach out, because the garden is there as an outreach ministry as well. So
if you're comfortable doing so, please stand now. Trust me, it's okay. I will not hurt you. I really won't. We're gonna take this song and we're just gonna add things to it, all right? So all you have to do is kind of like move a little bit forth, and I'll pass the microphone, and you're gonna add a line to whatever was shared. Would you sing what you have? Yeah.
grow in grace, grow in love.
Actually, we don't need a microphone. Just sing out if you have something.
Grow in joy, grow in peace.
Grow with the earth. there. One more. And now we need something that will kind of close it. Like, what's the last statement? People are going into the garden. They're almost there. What is the last thing that we say? Beautiful. Please grab a seat. Right. So,
Recording in progress.
the feelings that we have in a group like this of like, oh my God, are exactly the feelings that we have when we're by ourselves. They're a bit diminished, but the voices that are speaking are inner voices. They are there. It's like, no, who are you? Like, that's not good enough. All of those pieces. So I am very sorry that we don't get to see Amanda's. So is that fixed? No. Oh, I need a moment to process this. It's been many months of preparation. So I need a moment to let go of my willfulness and accept the possibility of doing this in a different way and without Amanda's voice. Should we try that? Sure. Okay, let's try it. And I think we're going to skip the improvisation exercises. Oops, I'm gone here. I'm gone here too. Can a mic be on? Huh? You can hear on the Zoom. I want to make sure that we can amplify it here because we're about to put it to the computer. So John Peterson, if you could help us with that. Testing. Okay. Okay, let's hear it. Share sound. Pray with me, please. All right, I'm gonna go into a different strategy, Katie. I want to thank you for all the efforts you've made. We're actually not going to use the technology at all. That's the decision I'm making. I think it's causing more stress than help at this moment. So, John Peterson, John, are you there? So I'm asking that we kind of stop all the efforts to try to get the technology working other than the Zoom, and I'm just going to do the workshop. I'll be Amanda for you. How's that? Okay, so okay, I'm going to do, there were some amazing exercises that Amanda has, and you're going to get the video, try them. They're awesome. She's an expert doing that. There's one that I'm very afraid of doing, so I'm going to go there. And that is talking gibberish, talking in an animal language that you made up. Samakum makala hamit. Hamahwa. Yeah. That's it. So I want you to pair up. One. Pair up. Your chairs a little bit. Pair up. Pair up. And I want you to have a conversation in a made-up language as if you were an animal. All right? Go. Okay, awesome, 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 awesome. That's one of 4 exercises that Amanda had for us there. So you can, now she tells us that a powerful way to do this exercise is when you find something that is very hurtful in your life and that you cannot share it with words, but you're gonna share it with the words of an animal in a place, So, and it's amazing what can happen. People will understand what you're saying without knowing exactly what you're saying. Does that make any sense? So this is taking us into another axis. So we got an axis about, I'm calling that the liturgical axis, meaning we are liturgical animals and we want the service to go well and we want to create moments in the service that go well. So there's a moment in the garden, there was a moment at the end of the Easter season that we did, and hopefully you had other inklings. But now we're going to go into something a bit different, which is something that speaks to something that you need, terribly need, that you need. Nobody else, you need it. And Amanda tells the story of how one of my favorite songs that she's written came about. She was coming to the Hymn Society, actually, to lead something. And she felt very empty. And she felt like, oh my God, it's like, I don't know, like nothing was flowing. So, she did what some musicians do. She went to the piano, and then she did a little, went to the plagal, to the 4-chord, and that kind of stuff. Let's see. Forget what key that is in, but I'll find it somewhere here in my computer. F major? Okay, I'll trust. And she started to pray. What is it that I need, God? Feel empty, intimidated, like I have nothing to offer. What do I need? Fill my cup, let it overflow. And then the song just flowed. Fill my cup, let it overflow. Fill my cup, let it overflow. I forgot what that chord is. With love, with love. Fill my cup, let it overflow. Fill my cup, let it overflow. Fill my cup, let it overflow. With love, with love. And you get the feeling, it's like a little miracle song. It's one of my favorite that Amanda has written. You get the feeling of that song perfectly responded to her need and thus was able to respond to someone else's need. I think there's very little vulnerability in our preaching. And I think there's very little vulnerability in our liturgy making. And sometimes even in our hymn writing, with the exception of David Bjorling. He just, it's like he just, I write stuff, prayers and stuff like that. And after I read them, I go like, oh, that's for them. So I have this rule. And I, whenever we have meetings with preachers and they say what they're going to preach about, sometimes I ask, does that move you? And once in a while, a preacher has been honest and said, no, it doesn't. And then I go like, we can meet again. We, take time. Until it moves you, it's unlikely to move anyone else. So you are, this is in my book, this is kind of like the Jorge thing, you are the thermometer. And as you're planning worship, as you're writing songs, I remember when I first heard Sally's just as I am. The way that you shared it told me clearly that that song moves you in powerful ways. And I will never forget that moment because she was moved, I was moved. So we're gonna try that exercise right now. I'm gonna ask you to pair with the same person that you were an animal with. And now I'm gonna ask you to, as far as you can go, without stretching your sense of wellness, to share something that you need. And ask the other person, give me a line that could respond to that need. Just a line, and see what happens. And then I'm gonna say switch. So you're gonna have time for each person, but give me a line, and then maybe there'll be music to that line. But is the exercise understood? Yeah? Let's do it. If somebody doesn't have a paired person, I'm available.
Find the stillness.
Well,
Let's see. I'm just at a transition point in my life. I just ready to leave. My wife is pregnant with the second child, and so I'm just anxious about what's gonna happen. January, December.
no, but I like it a lot.
Just
Because it addresses
and there's joy.
we're not ready.
There's, okay, you're not ready?
No, we're not ready. We haven't gotten to the second person. Yes.
No, I'm about to do the switch now. Yeah. So switch now, or whenever it feels right. Switch, blah, 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 blah.
I guess I'm just in a holding pattern of waiting. I'm gonna write that down. Where's your joys? Yeah.
The first thing that came to me is trust.
Trust and obey.
Oh, this is supposed to be freely. Work that hard. That's something
What do you do?
I'm a retired church quarter.
All right, friends, I'm going to call us back. And I know these exercises are really frustrating because some of you may be in the middle of something and you want to go further with it. But I think I'd like this time for many of us to share where you are. And I am creating the space right now that if you have something and you want help from the group, like I have this, could somebody put a tune to it real quick? There's a one line, you're free to do so. I'm gonna ask that our sharing be mindful of the time that we have. We have one more exercise that we wanna do before we close. And I'm gonna start by modeling it this way. I went to this group and I shared how frustrated I am that the technology is not working after all of this work and honoring Amanda, and editing videos and now nothing. So I said, I need a line that will help me move out of my willfulness of like, I wanted it to be this way, as opposed to the way it's happening. And I gave myself a line from a borrowed line, let it be, and then let it be, let it flow, But then somebody gave me another line, which was,
Let my longing be shaped by the flow of your spirit.
I'm not saying that my anxiety is at 0, but it's not at 100% right now. That helped me. Just 2 seconds of conversation, me saying, I feel like this, I need a line, coming up with 2 lines, it was helpful. How about here? We're gonna ask that one of the pair share, because there's a lot of us. You decide.
So I shared a need that I have for compassion and wisdom for a member of my family. And this was so powerful what you came up with, but now I'm forgetting.
Super important, I forgot to say it, write it down. You will forget, it's like I've composed songs in my head and I go, that was so awesome, they're gone. Yeah. If I don't put it on my iPhone and record it poorly, I will one for you where I'm in the middle of an airport and all you can hear is gate number 4, like that kind of stuff. And me behind going like, there is river,
May I feel their need so I might embrace it. That's what my friend here gave me, Marilyn.
Can you see how that can be the beginning of something? No? Okay, awesome.
I was sharing about a need for sort of being steadfast, being committed. And Anna said, quoting steadfast.
Oh, right. The steadfast love of God never ceases. God's mercies never come to an end. The steadfast love of God never ceases. God's mercies never come to an end. They are new every morning. Sometimes it's just big reminders.
Amen. Amen to that. I apologize that I had to give some instructions, so I missed some of the Jews here.
So I shared from a place of feeling betrayed and hurt by a person in authority over me denominationally, in terms of my denominational structure. And Tyler gave me, in our grief and pain, may you hear us. In our grief and pain, may you hear us.
I hope you can hear the beginning of something that, at least from my hearing, it's crying for it to go deeper. There's something that feels that needs to be said. That sense of urgency that Eileen so vulnerably shared with us, friends, that is the gift. Actually, that sense of, I gotta say this, I gotta pray this, that's actually the song itself. What comes out from that is an expression of the song. The prayer, you have it. It's there. The expression of the prayer is what's being birthed.
Allison said she was concerned about returning joy, and the line that came was, like a fountain brings living water, joy will come again.
I had expressed a need for motivation, and she shared a song with me.
This is something I sang to myself too a couple Holy Weeks ago. You got this, you got this, you got this. Tell the brain rats to step back. You got this, you got this. Tell the brain rats to step back.
Yes.
The funny thing is, I had made a video of it and put it on Instagram. I went back and listened to it, and it says, ask the brain rats to step back.
Hi, so I had shared about feeling some anxiety as I move in. Will be retiring very shortly, and just the anxiety of where do I go from here.
And I resonated really deeply with that because I walked that path not too long ago. And the line that came was, show me who I am on this new path.
Please carry on. I am going to try to fix something here as you continue, and I'll be back with you in a second.
I think for Sophie and me, we just can piggyback on what Deb said. I can try. So my word for Sophie was clarity. Her word for me was guidance. We don't really have a good phrase that we came up with together, except to acknowledge that we are both at very different stages of our life, but we're both seeking to know what the next thing is on our journey from different sources, waiting for that to come together.
I'm going to ask us to stand now, please. And before we go to the next one, did you hear what was said? I'm going to ask you to say it one more time. Hear it deeply, and let's offer some lines around that. Are you okay with that?
Sure, I can take it. Yes. So we were.
My apologies.
Yes.
I thought you guys were done. They said you didn't have a line.
Yeah, we didn't have a line.
I'm just going to let her repeat. First, give her version of what we were.
So Linda gave me the word clarity, and I gave her the word guidance. And we're at different stages in our life, but are still kind of seeking the same thing and figuring out new paths, next steps, and kind of struggling with coming up with lines for approaching that.
So we're gonna put lines in here. The main thing is don't judge them. Like the first line you came to me is like guide my feet. But there's a song already. That doesn't matter because somebody will hear guide my feet and they will come up with something else. Do we get the thing? So I'm asking you to listen and maybe write down. Yes. My apologies. I'm asking you guys to listen, and if you choose to, if you hear something that moves you, write it down. Okay, everybody, go. The way knows the way. Walk with me. I don't know where I'm going. I don't need to know.
Not knowing is a great place to begin.
Not knowing is a great place to begin. Release me from my addiction to knowing. Help me begin again. Listen for my voice. Take me behind. Beautiful. Let's grab a seat and let's continue.
I just shared that my husband will be having knee replacement surgery next week, and he's a whole lot more anxious about it than he'll ever admit to.
And I think this is actually stolen, but I just said, Lord, you are the great physician.
So Sarah said to me, she needs to know more about me, to pray for me, which is so kind. And so we talked about who we were to each other.
Thank you. And this will help a lot of y'all's people, because people feels like this. Maybe not you, but we all of a sudden found ourselves saying, well, I'm not all that. And I'm not all that. She's a doctor, by the way, so just, okay. She's my partner, all right. So the point is, I'm not all that, and I'm not this, and I wonder how many times we still, when we're around brilliant people like we are, you know what I'm talking about? And we say, well, I'm not this or that, or so, but, so what came of that was, we have so much to give. We've been given so much. Just being here, you see, and this is how God helps us live.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Daniel gave me the word trust, and I asked him his favorite hymn tune, and he said St. Columba. Oh God, you call us with our fears. You bring us to your homeland. Oh, let us trust that you are good, that you are ever with us.
And I just want to add that one of the values in that for me is I never would have connected the word home to what I was thinking of in trust. So that was a real gift. Thank you.
I want to offer a comment before we move on. This is a wonderful example. My apologies, friends. My apologies. Just you have more time now. Of how, and you can move in different directions. Like, for example, I went into a beat to write a song. But this is like, there's one word and a tune. And when you put that word with the tune, something happens. So this is what I believe. That just like in cooking, you look at your ingredients and you go like, I have some corn, okay, I have some tomatoes, I have, I don't know, somebody say something weird, black bean, you know, it's like, and then you start combining them in your head and they call for what's needed next. I think one of the problems that many of us have is that we want to be like Zeus and have like Minerva, the song, appear from our heads, fully formed in all of her glory. And for some people, that is the case. For most of us, I'm gonna dare say, it's probably not the case. But rather, we have ingredients, and you will know what your core ingredient is. I'm suggesting 3 ingredients here. Like we started with the ingredient of a liturgical need, like something has to happen. You know. Now, then we went to Amanda's song, and we went to like the heart need. What do you need? And we're gonna do like one more. But once you have that ingredient, then you go another ingredient, a tune, a style. Is it a hymn? Is it a short song? And then things keep kind of like building themselves up.
Sally Ann and I have been trying to figure out how we can both not talk. I shared with her that I'm often uncomfortable when people think I'm good at something. I'm okay when I'm by myself in my room and I think I'm good at it, but the other part messes me up, and I'm very bad at letting people say thank you. And just because she's given me good advice does not mean I'll get better at it, by the way. But her advice was that James should let people say thank you and then let things go.
Amen.
I'm going to stop us for a moment. I feel that this didn't feel complete to me yet, so I'm going to ask us remain seated for this one to give some lines to James. Based on what we heard and based on what Sally also shared, what would you say? What would be a line that would help James receive Thanksgiving? I will repeat what they say.
You don't have to feel glorious first, just to be gracious.
You don't have to be glorious in order to be gracious. More. Your skills are a gift from God. You can see where that kind of lead to something that, like for example, that one told me like, it's all of it is gift. That's the one that when you said that I received that one, all of it, the Thanksgiving is gift. What else?
You are gift and gifted.
You're gift and gifted. Just one more. God don't make no junk. Okay, awesome. All right.
I shared with my sister Margaret where I was in my life, mainly in a state of transition, completed a degree, and wife is pregnant with baby number 2. And the fears and anxiety, but also the joys that will be experienced. And I said I was just in this waiting period. And the line she gave me, God, my fears and my joys are in your hand.
My fears and my joys. Oof.
We already did that.
No, we want to hear from you.
No. You had the line. I had the word, okay. I expressed the need to have more patience. And then the line that Jeffrey gave me more anxiety. But we'll let Jeffrey give the line.
Help me find the stillness in which I can stand strong.
When you hear that silence, that means we're still pondering. That's
Yes.
powerful.
Yeah.
That's powerful. Help me find the stillness where I don't have to be strong. Was that something that where I can stand strong? Yeah. You see, everybody hears what they need to hear. So, friends, I hope that this is helping you. These are portals of access. So here's a third portal, and I'm calling it, writing from a concept. So many of us, work with preachers, and they tell us, we're going to preach about this, and we have to come up with songs, find them, or in the Amanda way, if you don't find it, write it, that fit. So here's what was presented. Was this for Pentecost? I forget. From some sermon. Deeply connected life, past, present, and future. Even when we are not conscious of it, our lives are deeply connected with those who came before us, including the other than human those. In the same way, those who follow us will be connected, influenced, and shaped by our having lived and acted in the world. What kind of legacy will we leave? What will be the character of the influence we have on 7 generations beyond? Common experience, we always put that at the end, So this is the blurb for a Sunday sermon. And I was at some airport, and I was just like, nothing fits. Originally, I was going to go with, I am in you, and you are in me, and we are in God. I am in you, and you. That beautiful song, and you layer it. But we've done it a lot. So again, once you do something a lot, you cannot control it. It doesn't, it's good to do it, but it comes with its risks. So I was there, and I have this itch that my dear friend Jeffrey knows. What's my itch?
There's so many.
Okay, he's supposed to say the Holy Trinity, but that's all right. All right, so that's my big spiritual struggle of my whole life. Like I've been my whole life trying to enter into that and like blah, blah, blah. So there's a line from the liturgy that always strikes me because it's repeated in the Western liturgy all the time. As it was in the
Beginning, is now, and ever shall be, world without end. Amen.
Do you see it there? It's like this is about the flow of life, something that continues. So I said, I'm going to write a song on that. And this is sort of what came. This is one of the ones that came like right away. But let's sing it together. There is a river, a holy breath, a spark of life that all creation shares. Within that river, shared by that breath, touched by that life, we gather here today. I forgot to say it had to be for the beginning of worship. There is a river, a holy breath, a spark of life that all creation shares. Within that river, held by that breath, touched by that life, we gathered here today. The river flows, the river flows. God's breath endures. In life that always was, in life that always is, becoming that will never see. I had to stop from repeating it because I was getting a little bit emotional there at the end. But the whole idea is that, there was a moment where my itch got scratched, I have this itch about the Trinity and about life being one thing and mystery, and I really wanted that for my congregation. So what's your itch? That's the question. What is your itch? What is your itch? So I am wondering if it's best that we pair the same way, or do you want to pair with a different person? Give me a test. Same? Okay. Share your itch and see what rises. It may be, I want to write a hymn that says this. It may be, I have this line. So whatever rises, and then we'll share a bit about that. Share what is your itch, like what is it that you want? Not to say that it be said that is not being said. Does that make any sense? Go.
But I think there needs to
If you're stuck, think about what is not being taught in your local church that you believe needs to be taught. So the itch, it's a ministry itch. It's not necessarily a personal itch, but it's like, this needs to be said and nobody's saying it. That kind of thing is what the exercise is about.
I've never been brave enough to put new words in what I have done. You know, like moment before, 30, 40 minutes before Mass requires service. I give them new text for Christmas, and I don't hear them in the and that's been helpful. But I have not been very bring that into the Mass. We do that in the same because there are two things. You don't mess with Christians, you don't mess with Mass. They want to hear. Right. We have to sing yes, exactly. At my church, it's always the last one.
You're hitting hard. You're hitting very hard. That's the tradition. All right, friends. We are going to do one more song that Amanda wrote. It's one of my favorite songs that she's written. Before we do that, I want to kind of like recap what some of the Amanda and Jorge things that have helped us. I'm sure that everybody here has things that have helped you, but this is what have helped us. The first one is the gift that Amanda told me. You don't find the song that fits.
Right.
Yeah. You don't find a song that fits, write it, just write it. And, make it imperfect, let it be, and let's see what happens. And then, the second one is about the many different sources, the many different sparks that a song can come from. And I privilege those sparks that, that have more ouch in them, that really, because if you don't have a little bit of an ouch into something, the emotional investment is not quite there. So here's what I do whenever I am asked to do anything worship-wise, like yesterday I was asked to do something in a workshop here. I go like, and I don't have an ouch, like I'm like empty. I go like, oh, time to go to Peniel and battle with the angel. That's what I do. I go and I really go into like, okay, and until I receive a blessing, and it's usually a blessing that leaves me going like this, like, until I get that kind of blessing that wounds me a little, I don't let it go. I don't let it go. Yesterday, I was asked to lead a song, and the song was just really not talking to me. I was actually in deep judgment of the song. I was like, can't believe these people are doing this, when the world is going to pieces, and they're just, blah, 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 blah. So I had to talk to like maybe 5 friends until finally one friend gave me the clue how to pray. And it hurt a little, but it was glorious. So that's kind of what we're trying to pass on to you, that whatever the source is, it could be, that you're asked to do something, a liturgical need, an inner need, and so on. So we're gonna do one more song. This is Amanda's setting of an amazing David Björling text. And I also collaborated in this because she called me when she was writing it. And she said, Jorge, I need something for, it says, we will love, dare to love, trusting love. And then she had something else. And I said, be God's love. And she said, yeah, that's it. And this piece was actually another kind of like, you make an error, becomes a blessing. This was meant to be a descant on top of the main melody. But I thought it was a refrain. So I started leading it as a refrain, and now Amanda does it as a refrain and as a descant, and so on. So would you rise as you can, move around. This group may want to be in front here, blah, 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 so that we can sing this together. Give me an example and move. Can you read from there?
No.
Okay, then move. There we go. Be not shy, do not be shy. All right. Can I have a volume on this mic? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Somebody pass me the other mic. Testing, beautiful. Okay, here we go. We will love, dare to love, trusting love, be God's love. We will love, dare to love, trusting love, be God's love. We will rejoice in love, lift up our voice in love, make every choice in love. We will uphold your world in love. We will delight in love, share and invite in love, till all unite in love. We will uphold your world. We will love. We will love. Dare to love. Trusting love. Be God's love. We will love. Dare to love. Trusting love. Be God's love. We will repent in love. Raise our lament in love. Dare to descend in love. We will uphold your world in love. We will resist in love. Choose to resist in love. And coexist in love. We will uphold your word in love. We will love, dare to love, trust in love, be God. Let's sing the stanza, and if you know the the other part, sing it on top of that. First stanza, and whoever wants to sing the scan. We will love, shape of dark words to love, make him to sing love. Through God's love, we will delight in love, share and invite in love, till all unite in love. We will uphold your word in love. Amen.
Did Amanda write that?
Amanda, well, no, David Bjorling is the lyrics. Amanda wrote the tune. Yeah, Amanda wrote the tune. Thank you all for coming.
Thank you, Jorge.